So now that we've talked about sewing and sketching, we're going to be talking about how to measure anybody like your model's body. You have three main measurements, which would be the breast area, so the bust, you would measure all the way around. Then you have the waist, which in this case we're measuring the natural waist, which is your belly button, which would be this area, and again, all the way around. And the third measurement would be your hips. The hips are, well, your hips. Um, and then some other measurements that you might need would be how tall the model is from the waist to the bottom of the foot, just so you know how long to make a skirt. And also the top, you do want to measure that from the back of the neck, the bottom of the neck to the waist. And then when it comes to patterns, you actually have two different options. You can make patterns or you can just kind of freehand the whole design. If it is more flowy and drapey, you don't really necessarily need a pattern. But in the case of this dress, you do. For the bustier, you want a pattern to make the different panels of the top and also on the main skirt. And then for the overskirt, I actually just kind of freehanded it. Okay, so from making a sketch of your garment to actually making it, it's a pretty big process and kind of long. So you have to make patterns, which is one of the longest parts of the whole design. You have to first take the measurements and then figure out whether you're going to drape it or actually use a pattern. So what you want to do, one thing, you only make patterns for half of the body and then just kind of cut two of them when you actually finish it. So you have different panels. You have, for example, the center panel, and then you have the side panel, which is the princess seam to the side. And then you have two in the back, and that's pretty much it. And then same for the skirt. For example, this one is only three panels. It's the front and then two in the back. And you can use a mannequin and just kind of freehand it, or you can buy patterns. They do sell them in stores. What you want to do when you get the pattern, you don't want to cut or go straight into the fabric, the final fabric. You want to make the pattern on muslin. So you'll make it for an actual dress form. And then from that, you're going to trace it onto paper just so you can get a more even pattern or like a feel for it. And then from that, what you're going to do, you're going to, again, cut on muslin fabric. You're going to make the whole dress as if it was the final product. You're going to make the whole dress just so you get to see what it's going to look at the end. And then on that, you can actually fix it if there's things you want to add to it, things you want to take away from it. And once you have like the final thing, you're going to cut it onto the actual fabric.